Good. Okay, I'll start over again. We're going to talk about punctuation and we're going to talk about paragraphs. So this verse, John 1:21, illustrates the three kinds of punctuation that we see in Greek texts. The first thing is the period, and it works the same way in Greek as it does in English. It just finishes a sentence. We see what is in English a semicolon, and it's the equivalent of a question mark in English. So you can see they replied, "So then, who are you? Who are you?" And that's here. Therefore, who are you? So this is a question mark. The other thing you've got is a dot that occurs halfway up behind a word, and it is kind of like a comma. So this would be equal to alpha, beta, comma. So our Greek texts do not use commas. They use dots. So you can see, and he answered, and then you have the comma. So that's like the dot, and then no. And so that just ends in a period. Greek does not use an exclamation mark. So if you ever see that in an English translation, it's because the translator has inserted it, thinks that it's called for it. So it is a punctuation mark that we use in English that never gets used in Greek. Now, having said all of this, the original manuscripts in Greek, and this is a manuscript made in 3015, you can see that everything is...
Can't see. What is it in? I can't see.
You can't see?
No. It's too much small. Can't see.
It's too small. Okay. Let's try and make it bigger.
If you do it only one, if you do it one, this is also coming now, only one page for this. That is good for me. One page for this. Not the 2 pages. Other pages also coming now.
I cannot control this. This is from a website from somebody else. So what you see is what I can do. Now, the Greek for this, we would do it in lowercase, NRK ein halagos. And this is NRK ein halagos. And they included the O's S small because they ran out of space. So you can see that the way the New Testament was originally written was with all uppercase letters and no spaces, no paragraphs, no punctuation. So all of the punctuation that we see here, all of this punctuation, the sort of comma, the question mark, and the period, all of these have been inserted by editors. They're all judgment calls. on the part of editors, designed to make it easier for modern readers. So you can see also here that this is all lowercase, but at the beginning of a quote, we have a uppercase letter. So the editor of this version, when it wants to start a direct quotation, he uses an uppercase letter. So they replied to him, "Who therefore are you?" And so since it's the beginning of a quotation, they use an uppercase letter. So our version does not use quotation marks, but it is one of the uses of uppercase, is to start a direct quote. The other reason for using a direct quote is for a name of a person. So, are you Elijah? And you can see that the first letter of this is uppercase. Are you Elijah? And he said, and then again, we have a quotation mark. So they use an uppercase, I am not Elijah. And then they begin with another quotation, are you the prophet? Are you the prophet? And so Greek does, our version, the SBLGNT version that we use, uses a capital letter to indicate the beginning of a quote, but it does not use anything to indicate the end of a quote. So you have to figure that out from your own based on just reading the text. So you can see here, Jesus answered no, one word. So it's the beginning of a quote. And so in English, we would use a quotation mark at the beginning and at the end. In Greek, you just see at the beginning. But again, I say that is an editor's choice, a translator's choice, because the originals they're working off of did not have any of those kind of breaks, no punctuation at all, and all uppercase, which made it hard to read, and no spaces between the letters. So as you look, if you get a printed copy of the Greek New Testament, you're going to find, you asked about paragraph breaks, and you're going to see them here. We've got a paragraph break here, of course, at the beginning of a chapter. And we have another paragraph break here, and you can see it because there's a space there. And we have a title. And all of these have been put in by the editors of the Greek New Testament, the people who've edited it for us, have put those in to try and make it easier for us. So you see several things here that don't occur in the original Greek text. We see the title, we see verse numbers, those didn't exist, verse numbers. We see, here's a quote that's in italics, and that's, of course, not in the original. We have uppercase and lowercase. So here's an uppercase letter, and here are all the lowercase letters. That's not there. You can see that they're doing the same thing in this that I indicated. This is the beginnings of a quote, and this is the beginning of a proper name, Judea. That's what this word is, Judea. They will also in this particular version, they begin each paragraph with a capital letter. So this is a paragraph beginning. This is a paragraph beginning. This is a paragraph beginning. So they use uppercase letters to indicate the beginnings of a paragraph in addition to the indent. So there are many features, modern features, that have been used by Bible publishers to try and make it easy for us to read Greek, because I find this here, let's just have a look. I find this almost impossible. This is really, really hard for me to read this. It's very difficult, and I find this much easier. I like the verse numbers. Whoops, that's not what I wanted to do. There. I like the verse numbers. I like the fact that they begin a paragraph with an uppercase letter. I like that they use, here's the name Pharisee, and because that's a proper noun, the name of a group, they start with an uppercase letter. So here's Pharisees, and here's Sadducees. Okay. So those are some of the differences between or the changes that our modern Greek translations have made. Generally, the choices that the editors have made on paragraphs, these are pretty good choices, but they're not there in the original text. So if you ever think that a paragraph break should come in a different place, that's something you can do in your translation. That's about all there is to say about punctuation and paragraphs. It's a judgment call. Both of them are judgment calls by the Bible editors, modern editors, because, of course, the original version looked much more like this. And so the editors have tried to break it up to make it easier to read. So, other questions?
Other questions is in Step Bible. You have, like, for example, the root meaning, the English word is the, this, and who. And why are they changing every time the grammar part? I don't understand that. Like grammar part, like definite article, sometimes it is written genitive, sometimes it is written nominative, definite article, nominative, singular, masculine, then definite, it is the same. Definite article is same. I remember, I found that very easy. I didn't understand that why they are changing the grammar part every verse. That thing.
Armaan, I'm having a tough time understanding your English. It could be a bad connection. I mean, we're always connecting from India to Canada. And I think you need to write your question out for me. You can either do that now by WhatsApp, or we can discuss it during the next class. And you can send me your questions by email or by WhatsApp, because I just simply, I can't quite, you know, when you ask complicated questions about Greek and then we're connected by Zoom, I simply don't understand very well. So,
Can you listen now? Brother, can you
What?
listen? Can you listen? Now.
No, I'm not understanding, Armaan. I'll tell you what, let's pick a time for the next class and you write your questions out for me in advance because I can deal with those that way. Let me look and find my calendar. Calendar. So here's today. I cannot meet on the 22nd. I am out of town. I am working at a Christian camp for children. And so I cannot meet you 2 weeks from today. I could meet you 3 weeks from today. Would that be good for you on the 29th?
Yes, yes, yes. Oh, good, good, good. Thank you for telling that.
You're saying yes to the 29th?
Yes.
Okay, I'll make a change to my calendar right now. I'm just gonna take this and move it and say this is gonna go to the 29th. Save it and save all of our events so we continue to meet every 2 weeks. Okay, so I have that you and I are gonna meet. Here's today, March 8th. The next time we meet is going to be March 29.
Can you send the paragraph one paragraph? So you showed the paragraph now. Can you send that to me?
Yes, I'll send you I'll do some of that right now. I'll send you some stuff. I'll type it out here and then send it to you by WhatsApp. So let's make this bigger. Punctuation. There are.
You're not sharing the screen.
What?
You're not sharing the screen.
Oh, thank you very much. Share the screen. There are 3 kinds of punctuation in the Greek New Testament. What do you call it? It's like a comma, which looks like a small dot halfway up. Oops, and I will get a copy of it. Let's see. Here. There. So the next thing, period, which looks identical to an English period. And then we have the Greek question mark, which looks like an English semicolon. So these are the 3 kinds of punctuation marks you see. The comma, the small dot, the period, and the question mark, which looks like a semicolon. We have the editors of the Greek New Testament have made choices about where to put paragraph phrases. They start each new paragraph with an upper case Greek letter. So let's just copy some of that.
What site is it?
This is showing how we begin paragraphs. Oh,
Yeah,
hey, why did that? Just a second. I had all my circles disappear on me. Let me try that again. Ah!
Wait. You can select all of them now with the mouse. Select all this.
Yeah, I'm trying to draw circles here. There we go. So these are let's go back to Word.
सरकार की गारंटी सस्ती दवाई अच्छी दवाई कम से कम 75% डिस्काउंट अब तक जरूरतमंदों के 23,000 करोड़ रुपए बचे हमारा संकल्प विकट उठाना नया शहर नया जॉब ये तो रिस्क मुझे उसी तरह मैं रिस्क प्रोफाइलर से अपने रिस्क की कैपेसिटी और रिस्क मीटर से बढ़कर
The editors also use uppercase for proper names. So let's take a look at some of that. So we have John the Baptist. Oh, I guess that one, yeah, that's an upper. No, I guess that's a lowercase. It'd just be John here. So we have, yeah, John the Baptist. We have, here's another case of John. Here's Jerusalem. Jerusalem is a proper name. Judea is a proper name. Jordan. We've got Pharisees as a proper name. So these are all additional uses of uppercase letters. Let's see, proper names, beginnings of paragraphs, oh, and the beginnings of quotes. The editors have also used uppercase letters to indicate the beginning of a direct quote. So actually, there's a good several good illustrations in this verse. Let's get my circle. So then, who are you? And so this is the beginnings of the quote. Who are you? And he said, I am not. And so here, I am not. We begin with an uppercase letter. Are you the prophet? That's the beginning of the quote. Here's the last beginning of the quote, or the last quote is correct. So we see uppercase there. So I'm going to indicate all of these.
इस प्रोजेक्ट भारत में ऐसा फिफ्थ जनरेशन फाइटर एयरक्राफ्ट बनाया जाए जो फिफ्थ एडवांस मीडियम कॉम्बैट एयरक्राफ्ट किस तरह एयरफोर्स की पावर को उतार देगा ये भी आपको बताएंगे लेकिन पहले एएम की प्लान का पूरा से 15,000 करोड़ की डील पर मुकर लेते हैं डील के तहत एएमसी की कुल 5 प्रोटोटाइप बनाए जाएंगे प्रोटोटाइप बनाने की जिम्मेदारी डीआरडीओ के एरोनॉटिकल डेवलपमेंट एजेंसी की दी गई और उम्मीद कि 2 साल के अंदर यानी 2025 तक एएमसी का पहला प्रोटोटाइप
Modern Bible editors also make use of section titles. They put these in based on their own choices and their own judgment. So, for instance, here,
ऑपरेशनल होने पर और चीन के पास से जेटो जी जिसे फिफ्थ जनरेशन एयरक्राफ्ट बताता है ऑपरेशनल फिफ्थ जनरेशन फाइटर जेट का इस्तेमाल होना भी एक वजह थी कि मोदी सरकार ने एएमसी प्रोजेक्ट को खाली छुट्टी दी ताकि एयर सिक्योरिटी में इंडियन एयरफोर्स की पीछे ना रहे
editors may also make use of italics and different line lengths.
जब आप अपने दुश्मन का सामना करेंगे या उससे थ्रेट को काउंटर करने की कोशिश करेंगे तो आपका मनोबल पे भी बहुत फर्क पड़ता है तो एएनपी जो है वो मैं समझता हूँ कि चीन से जो हमें थ्रेट है उसको काउंटर करने के लिए बहुत अच्छा इलाज है
भारत के एफडीए प्रोग्राम को आगे बढ़ाने की एक वजह चीन है वही चीज जो गलवान टकराव के बाद से लगातार एलएसी पर आक्रामक तेवर दिखाता रहा ताकि वो पाकिस्तान के साथ मिलकर भारत के लिए 2 एक्टिव मोर्चे भी तैयार करना चाहता है
All of these are choices by the editors. The original of the New Testament was written with no punctuation, no verse numbers, no paragraph breaks, and then all uppercase.
देश जो अपनी सीमा की सुरक्षा का जब काम करता है तो वो देखता है कि मेरे जो दुश्मन देश हैं और जो मेरे अड़ोसी पड़ोसी देश हैं उनके पास किस तरह की रक्षा कैपेबिलिटीज है किस तरह के जहाज है किस तरह के शिप्स है किस तरह के आर्मामेंट्स है और उसको कॉम्पीट करते हुए उनसे बेहतर क्या हो सकता है वो हर देश अपनी सुरक्षा के लिए प्लान करता है हमारे 2 ही दुश्मन है पाकिस्तान और चाइना जिससे हमारे कॉम्पिटिशन में बॉर्डर पे
Modern readers find the original manuscript very difficult to read. There are no spaces between letters. Modern editors have made it easier to understand. So let's just send all this to you by WhatsApp. So go
सरकार की मंजूरी मिल जाना एक बार लेकिन जानकारों का कहना है कि सिर्फ कैपेसिटी वाला जेट बनाने का काम 20 साल पहले
Instead of doing this, save it and send it to me as email. That will be good.
Okay, I'll send it to you as an email.
You can save it. See, save it na instead of WhatsApp. You can save it na.
Armaan,
Hmm.
call this the March 8th class.
गवर्नमेंट दी हुई है और यूपीए ने उसको इतना लाइटली लिया कि उन्होंने रक्षा से बात किया बारे बगैरह रक्षा के जो जहाज
Let me just get this and copy it all.
डेवलपमेंट हुए हैं जिस तरह के काम हुए हैं ये दिखाता है कि हमारी जो सरकार है उसकी एक राजनीतिक स्थिति बहुत सुदृढ़ है.
There we go.
सरकार ने एयरस्पेस प्रोजेक्ट को एक सफलता के बाद इस प्रोजेक्ट को लेकर देश के बाहर
So what I can do with this is I can make this a bit smaller since you're reading it by email. That's easier.
जो बताता है कि भारत के पास सब्जेक्ट रीजन तैयार करने की शक्ति है.
Okay, let's send that to you. And I'm going to stop. I'll send you by WhatsApp the recording of the class. And I'll see you in 3 weeks, Armaan.
3 weeks. How's the temperature in Canada? Is there any ice or melted?
I don't understand. You'll have to send it to me by WhatsApp or by email. I'll catch you later, brother. You have a good weekend. Bye-bye now.